So it's been quite strange being a new mum in lockdown. First of all, I mean, the second half of my pregnancy was basically the first lockdown, um, and that already really made things different. So in terms of the maternity care that I received, there were changes basically immediately as soon as lockdown happened. And what would happen is we were told, oh, well, you can have your next checkup just on the phone, you don't need to come in. I wasn't happy with that, as most pregnant women were not, because you just feel like you're getting fobbed off and those checks are there for a reason. So I pushed until I got my face-to-face checks. And in my case, that was really important because certain things were picked up, like at the end of my pregnancy, for example, I had gestational diabetes, and that wouldn't have been picked up if I didn't have urine checks. So things like that, already you feel like you had to really push to get just your basic pregnancy care. So I had quite a complicated birth. I was in hospital for nearly a week, and when I finally gave birth to Noah, that night the hospital didn't want to let my husband stay with me. Now, when you've had a complicated birth, you need time to recover, and you've got a new baby that you don't really know what to do with, and they weren't going to let my husband stay overnight with me. They would just leave me on my own with my baby. It's just not even humane to do that. It's, childbirth is a big deal, and you need support. You need support during and afterwards. Becoming a mother is such a big deal. You're entering a completely new world. It's a completely new experience, and it's for the rest of your life. And not being able to share that experience with other mums, not being able to just go to another mum's house and have a cup of tea, put my baby down on the playmat with their baby, let our babies, learn about other children, have some just time where you can just, complain about how tired you are. It's missing out on that support and that solidarity. To not be able to do that properly, to really have that really lovely experience of sharing parenthood with other new parents, is such a shame. And then for Noah, he doesn't really get to see any other babies. And now at the age he is at, so he's nearly 8 months, he interacts. You can see that he engages, he interacts. He needs to see other people. He needs to see that other babies exist. When the government's introducing new regulations, they don't seem to really think much about childcare issues or family, the whole rule of 6 things. If let's say you've just had your 3rd baby, what are you supposed to do so you can have one person round to socialise for the next few months? I've got colleagues who are trying to get their work done with 2 young kids. They're supposed to be homeschooling. How on earth could you possibly do any work if you're homeschooling a 5-year-old? It's just impossible. The lockdown approach now doesn't really seem to make sense. I think we were all ready to accept it right at the beginning of the pandemic. It was scary. No one knew what was happening or how exactly COVID was caught. We as a nation agreed, as many other countries did, okay, we can give up our freedoms for a short period in the hope that we can save lives. And people did that willingly, and I did too. And now, a year later, when we have a vaccine, and thankfully a really good vaccine program here, which has worked very well, is the one thing the government has done very well. And I don't understand why we're not opening up more quickly.